So I know many of you missed the kind of the Google 101 tour, and so just wanted to go through a few things with you just so you've got it for reference. So obviously, first of all, it's login with Google. So just the one login now. And if you ever change that Google password, then that means that your laptop password will change. So a couple things. You are able to save files locally. You've got 128 gigs of storage on these. It's this blue files folder at the bottom, or you can access it over here through this app launcher, which I'll talk about in a second. And so that's that. If you're coming from a Mac, this used to be Finder, now it's Files. Now, you will notice there's no desktop documents, things like that. But if you want to, up here in three dots, you can always create new folders, open new windows if you want to drag files back and forth, all those sorts of things, okay? And so you have that option. And the reason you might want to do that, so for example, I created a desktop folder just because of an example, if that just kind of helps your mental workflow. Because I will tell you, you can't save to the desktop. I don't really know why. It's kind of weird, but you just can't. So, but if it helps kind of your workflow, you could recreate those folders in the same names and organize things the way that you are used to. And so there's all that. Now, again, you've got downloads, you've got local storage. You can search for things. You can even search by file type. You can search by name. You can see it pulls it up pretty quickly. Now, you do have access directly to your Google Drive here. I do find this nice for uploading. So I like that I can go to downloads, drag it over, and send it straight to my drive. But I will say that for the most part, I still go to Drive via the web and do it that way, okay? So what I would say is don't completely, just because there's new, feel like you got to change the way you do everything. So do what's simplest, do what works best for you, okay? And do those things. The files will work offline. There's another video that I've created that you can watch about how to put stuff offline in your drive, and then you'll have access to it, and then it'll suck it up back to the cloud when you're done. So I will say, so like I said, if you open a file, you can handle Office files, so docs, sheets, PowerPoint, things like that. And you'll notice if I type, it's going to say unsaved changes, and then it'll say all changes saved locally. And so what that means is you can work to an extent with Excel, Word, and PowerPoint files, and then it saves automatically back to your computer. I want you to know that because there's this download button. The download button downloads the original file. It doesn't actually save or download the changes. Those are automatically done. So one little weird kind of quirk, but things to get used to. Something else that I would suggest about this. So if you have a PDF, you can right click, and if it doesn't say gallery, you can go to open with. I would set gallery as your default viewing app for these things, pictures, PDFs. Many reasons why, but one of them is it has built-in screen annotation. So you imagine you're teaching, you're working, you download the worksheet, you flip over into tablet mode. Now you're interacting with your device directly with this worksheet, okay? Then you're done. You can go save as. You could put it straight into Google Drive. You could put it in your computer, just call it first period. And then two things can happen. One, you've got a clean copy for the next class period, so you don't have to run copies of maps, worksheets, diagrams, all those sorts of things. Then, if you, let's say you've got teacher copies and notes as an accommodation for a lot of your kids, you can automatically do that and send that out. Or you just want the kids to know what you did that day, put it in Classroom. And so a lot of great seamless things, and like I said, the Gallery app gives you a lot of power there. Okay? And so that's that. And then you'll notice you do have this app launcher over here, so you can install apps. You'll see the Vivi app. There's the IPEVO visualizer should be, I've actually pinned it to my taskbar. Okay, that's what this is, taskbar. You can actually drag and pin things here. But similar to what I'll say is, so for example, there's a Gmail app. Sorry, that's not the one. Where's it at? Google Calendar. There's these apps like this where it opens in this nice little cool window. Some of them are great. I find some of them cumbersome. So again, it's kind of you can choose. You don't have to change just because it's there. You can still go to the web, go to Google Calendar, just like you've always done. What I will say is, kind of start with the mindset of, it will do it. I just need to maybe figure out how to do it differently or ask a question. and then we can work through it together, because it will do the things. And sometimes there's an app we can push out, sometimes there's extensions, add-ons, or sometimes again it's just a tutorial and kind of showing you where the settings are or how it works. So that's kind of the tour. Just so you know, and you can't see me doing this, but it is 2 finger scrolling on the trackpad. It is 2 fingers to right click. Okay, and then shortcuts, if you're coming from Mac, instead of Command, use Control, and then most of the things after that are the same. Windows people, it's just Control, and you're pretty much used to that. So, so those are some of the main things, the basic walkthrough. And like I said, just let us know if you've got any continuing questions.